Alright.
Isn't that...
What? I forgot to turn on the Doogie Cam before. Whoops. Whatever. Just now realizing. Just as I expected. Madarame.
That means...
Then, is the treasure behind him? It's kind of hard to tell from here. Let's get a closer look. I want to find a save room. Is what I want to find. Just give me my save room there. But yeah, let's see here. So the PS5 almost reached the original €600 price tag of the PS3 that made everyone laugh at them. I can't imagine paying €600 for a console. I can't imagine that. Because yeah, that would probably be well over $800 in my currency. Oh gosh dang it. And there's no save room or anything. I mean, if this is a boss battle here, it'll probably just put us right before the boss if we fail here. But it really feels like there should be a save room. Because that's really, really expensive. Especially the new Euro bank notes are very colorful. Your favorite is the €20 note. I don't think I had one of those. I had a 5, 10, and like 50s, but I don't think we got a, I don't think I actually had a 20 in my possession while I was in Italy.
There it is.
Or did I? Am I losing my mind? I don't know.
Doesn't it look a bit hazy? For the time being. Once we send the card and make Madarame aware it'll be stolen, it'll materialize like, yoo-hoo!
Okay, so we're at the point where we can send the calling card. Okay.
Who knows? Bet it's something like a self-portrait.
It's probably the Sayuri.
The source of what distorted Madarame's
Right?
reality
It has to
is
be.
much.
So, what now? Think it's safe to say we got a route set?
We know where the treasure is, but I'm not sure that we've necessarily secured the route.
Yeah, let's find a safe room around here.
Why's that?
You must be talking about the infrared lasers surrounding it.
That, and the outer perimeter is swarming with guards. Forcing our way through will be difficult.
So we'll need to find a way to steal it, too. This is tougher than it was with Kamoshida.
We just have to make one final push. Let's check this floor.
Okay, so we can probably, you know, get that figured out in this visit here. But yeah, Euros and USD are pretty close. But then there's Canadian dollar, which sucks. Canadian dollar used to be really close to USD for a long time. I know I've talked about this before. But then one day just kind of tanked and, oh, cool. And now has never been all that great since. Apparently it's been getting better in recent times, but still not the best. I remember the very first $80 game I ever bought was Xenoblade Chronicles X. So I remember that happened around 2015. I remember I bought like Smash 4 for $60 Canadian. But Xenoblade Chronicles X was the very first $80 game I ever bought. And ever since then, games here have always been $80. Is the case. But yeah, bear in mind that taxes are included in Europe. So usually the Euros dollar conversion sums up to a 1-to-1 conversion. Okay. So, like when you say taxes are included, like they're included in like the final price then is what you mean. Because I remember when I was buying some games at the GameStop in Sorrento, that I think I picked up the Ezio collection on the Switch, and I think that it was 30 euros, something like that. Maybe I did have a 20 then, because yeah, I think it was 30. So I gave like a 20, a 10, and a 5, something like that, because I'm used to like the sales tax being added on afterwards. But the Dudo just gave me back the 5 and was like, yeah, you're giving me a lot more than is expected here. And kind of looked at me kind of confused, and I was like, oh, well, I guess okay, neat. Neato in that case. So I guess I did have a 20. They were bright blue, right? Or am I losing my mind? Am I going crazy? Oh, control room. I think we can turn them lasers off here. Because here it's like our 5s are blue, our 10s are like purplish, our 20s are green, our 50s are red, and our 100s are brown. That's the way that we have it here. If I recall from being in Italy about a week ago, 20 was bright blue, right? Prices are always included in the price, no need for the customer to win the Math Olympics. Why isn't it like that here? That's so much better. There's a really soft blue. The color always relaxing. Okay, yeah, I did have a 20 in that case. I'm losing my mind saying that I didn't have a 20. I definitely did. I thought it was cool. Yeah, I'm going crazy here. That's what's going on. But yeah, why don't they do something like that here? Just include that in the final price. That's so silly. Because yeah, I was confused when I had it over like an extra 5 expecting it to go over. And it was just like, yeah, you don't need to give that 5. And I was like, oh, okay. Neat. Turn off the lasers? Is what we'll do. Is the case. Nothing happened. I don't have a 20 anymore. The only Euro bill that I have right now is that 50 on my desk. Our only Lord Madarame can access this terminal due to maximum security protocol. The heck? There's no point in even coming here then. Seems disabling the infrared lasers is not within the realm of possibility for us.
Hey,
Yeah, I think that's just the way that is, like, here in North America, most likely. I don't know what it's like in Mexico, but I figured that was probably the way in the US as well. Shut down the main power. Maybe. But yeah, should totally just do that system like in Europe. Like, it makes so much more sense. What is the meaning of this? I'm not sure. It seems we have lost power. Backup generator should bring it up again in no time. What a nasty surprise. Could this also be... Hey, someone! Came back on pretty damn fast. Yes, and the infrared lasers remained active even during the power outage. So we'll only be able to turn the power off in there for a few seconds.
Wait!
Wait a second, aren't those guards that just ran out and headed this way? How else should we try? We might be in trouble if we don't hurry. Open the shutters, I guess. It's the only option left, so, is it just like a shortcut thingamabob? This is another route in. Don't tell me we drop in to take the treasure from above.
Yeah.
Alright. Now there are more places we can explore. Purple guy! So you're the ones who tampered with electricity. Crap, we got company.
Let's go.
Science them fast. Alright, boopity bop. But yeah, so it's the same way in Japan as well, only included later. Yeah, it's silly. Libertarians in the US always want you to know how many... no, exactly how many taxes you're paying. Just find it tiresome having it in the final price makes it so companies make more reasonable prices instead of making the 0.99 price tag plus taxes. Yeah, it's silly.
I don't see a weakness.
When I was in Italy, I was just like, wow, why isn't it like this back home? It makes so much more sense, you know? But alas, oh, thank goodness. But alas, things can't always make sense. Oh, sweet! Ryuji finally has something that he can use. Cool.
Whoa, Skull. Skull's in trouble. Someone fix it.
Ah!
Hey! Skull, are you
You thought it was a non-weak attack, but it was me! Zeal! Bam!
looking cool, Joker?
Alright. Cruslamo. Now, hit him, please! Yes! Alright, you're probably not gonna show me the money. Yeah, that's what I figured. Oh, man. The reason there's a 99 overall is to make consumer think it's only like $5, even though it's really listed as like $5.99. Yeah, just make it think it's like the number before, or like the whole thing robot before. Like if it's $9.99, I think like, oh, it's under $10, but yeah, it's $10. But yeah, Dio from JoJo would actually fit wonderful into this game. I've never even seen JoJo, but I can agree with that. Yeah, you would. Don't hit Ryuji. Oh my goodness! I started blasting. Oh. Okay, never mind. I did not start blasting and get pranked. Well. Hey, I got a good amount of money anyway. Well, there's that. That was a surprise. All we really managed to do was open the shutters.
Indeed.
On top of that, we can only turn the lights off briefly, while the lasers remain unaffected. Oh well, I guess we gotta go see what's past those shutters. Alright. Yeah, we may as well finish off this exploration while we're here, right? Is the thing. If we're, like, right before the treasure. Ugh, this is kind of sketchy now. Oh, man. Oh, I went past Anne there. Alright. We're running out of SP here. I do have, like, some SP recovery items, but, Alright, so not going through there. So we'll go back to the safe room here. Is what we do. Because there's not a lot left to this exploration, right? And just figure out exactly how to steal the treasure. It's probably gonna be like, oh, drop in from the vent above or something like that while the lights are off, right? That's what I'd estimate here.
Okay.
So we're gonna find that, and then the game's gonna be like, yeah, send the calling card whenever you want. So we may as well finish this off while we're here. But yeah, wanna know something? Our gas prices are priced like this, 3.17 and 9/10, and 9/10. People call that $3. Wait. What do you mean 3.17 and 9/10? A what? So like 3.179? Is that what you mean? I'm so confused.
Oh,
And that's like very expensive gas if that's USD right there. That's very expensive. 9/10 of a cent. But why? But why though? We don't do that here. What about per gallon, not liter?
Alright. No problem here.
Yep, no problem there. Squeezy! No! There's another safe room. Go! Whee!
Alright.
But yeah,
Looks like this place
okay.
is safe.
Makes a whole lot more sense than per liter in that case. But yeah, 9/10 of a cent in the U.S. Well, those are baby numbers. Look at the California. I believe it. I believe it. I always keep on thinking that gas is getting expensive here, but you know, I live in Alberta. That's basically like the natural gas province here in Canada, you know. So, you know, our prices compared to other places in Canada are typically a lot more reasonable. Yes, reasonable. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, well, another safe room. You'll love to see it. It's like we ain't getting through here.
Focus.
So, yeah, prices recently dropped a bit to around €1.75 per liter, and people are very relaxed after it temporarily went over like €2. Jeez, I can imagine so there. Our prices definitely aren't that high over here, but they're definitely, you know, getting up there. Our prices are probably like 60% of that, so like quite a decent bit cheaper, not, you know. What? Oh. But, you know, living in Alberta there. Though I'm not exactly on top of what gas prices are here right now, though. Because I haven't filled up my car in a while. Because my car, while being a lot of the time a rundown piece of junk that, you know, gets me from point A to point B really well, but is not so great in like every other aspect. My car's really fuel efficient. I have a 40-liter tank, and it's super fuel efficient, so, you know, nowadays I'm very, very grateful to have a fuel efficient car. You know, thank goodness for that. But
it's weak to wind.
weak to wind,
Weak to electricity.
weak to electricity, oh, weird. I'm very grateful to have a fuel efficient car, but once I start driving my truck next year, like once I can get that on the road, I'm really afraid of how much fuel it's gonna guzzle. Because it's either going to guzzle fuel like crazy, or it'll be like surprisingly more fuel efficient than you think, because, you know, using modern fuel and, you know, a very old machine might, you know, turn out being like a lot better fuel quality than it was designed for 70 years ago, you know? So who knows, my 1952 truck might be more fuel efficient than you'd think. Maybe, or maybe it'll guzzle fuel like crazy.
This one's strong against gunshots.
So, yeah, wind here. So let's see here, where's my wind? So, you know, I'm really grateful my car is fuel efficient, but we'll see about my truck. We'll see. That might be a little bit of a different matter, you know. But yeah, this is our Ukraine war, we hit like $5 plus a gallon. Jeez. But I believe it. Since California is a different way of refining fuel to make it more economically friendly. Or learned this yesterday. Oh, well, that's pretty nice then if it's more eco-friendly, right? Probably. Let's go, Captain. And then you're weak to the fire, so we'll go ahead and fire you here. But yeah, California gas has to be made in state, so you had to build refineries for it, so it's more expensive in California. But yeah, petrol at least was one of the rare things that hardly increased in prices for the last 10 years and even dropped partially. It's quite a significant increase after the war started, yeah. Yep. Let's see here. Let's boop it bop like this. Bam!
Serves you right.
Can I recruit one of these guys? One of these freaking weirdos? Let's talk.
You look so depressed.
So depressed, go easy on it. I mean, I understand how a human outsmart me. I understand in what way you're superior to me. Luckiness. Luck is talent. Humans not seem satisfied, only capture beasts. Let me know will you use us for other reasons too. If you capture me, what you going to do to me? Nothing. You type to find happiness in moment of battle. You remember, yada yada, I'm not a shadow that belongs here. I'm this thingamabob. Personally more of a public transport person, but still feel bad for people that need to rely on a car and have to lift heavy prices now. Yeah, here where I live, we have like a really good public transport system. Luckily, a lot of the time I'll wind up taking the train to or from university. Though, you know, since my mom works at the university, she often winds up driving there, so a lot of the time I'll just end up, like, hitching a ride with her. But other days, I'll, you know, typically wind up taking the train. Sometimes I'll drive if there's somewhere that I need to go after university, and then, you know, it frees up the option to do that. But oftentimes taking the train. I still think it's really important for everyone to at least have a license and know how to drive, just because it's a good skill to have. But, you know, doesn't necessarily mean you have to be, like, driving all over the place. It's the thing. Like, when I was growing up, my parents, like, really ingrained a lot of driving practice into me, just to make sure I'd get the skill. Like, whenever we were, you know what, Double Fang's Frey energy drop, huh? You know what, sure, let's do this. How about, like, my family has this, lake cabin in this small community, which is, like, you know, an hour 20 minutes away. And when I was learning how to drive, they would just get me to drive there and back, like, whenever we were going there, was a thing. And I got so tired of doing it, but in hindsight, I'm kind of glad that they did that, because, you know, it helped me get good driving practice and stuff, and now I'm a very confident driver, is a thing. But I still don't know how to drive a stick. I'm still learning how to drive a stick. I started doing a little bit of practice with my cousin. I haven't done it for a little while. I still gotta learn how to drive a stick so I can actually drive my old truck, you know. But yeah, growing up, you know, I wasn't super duper interested in driving. I was like, okay, I'll have, like, a vehicle. Like, I never really understood the appeal in people having, like, multiple vehicles or having, like, expensive, fancy vehicles. I was just the kind of guy that was like, yeah, I'll drive if I need to. And just something that gets me from point A to point B. So it's kind of weird to be, you know, currently having freaking 2 vehicles, my car and my truck. But, you know, that's the kind of thing where it's like, alright, I'm willing to do that, because one is the vehicle to get me from point A to point B, and the other is the fun family project, you know, is the thing, rather than, you know, an actual vehicle for, you know, frequent use or anything like that. But, you know, I still feel weird about owning 2 vehicles, because, you know, when I think about, you know, a single individual person owning 2 vehicles, I think, like, why? What's the point? Why would you do that? You know? I'm just like, I don't get it. Alright, I'll just pew. Oh yeah, you're impervious to gunfire. I should have realized that. I'm a little bit dumb sometimes. So, like, you know, I'm well aware that, you know, the truck is just, like, project vehicle and stuff, but at the same time, I feel weird owning 2 vehicles. You know? So, there's that. But yeah, gas would be cheaper here. More states switch to California gas, and it's better for the environment. That'd be something that, like, some places like Alberta could probably learn from then. But yeah, you're right, you'll be doing your license soon too. It's just way more expensive here than in North America. Expect prices between 3K and 4K euros, so you couldn't afford it yet. What, to buy a car or to get licensed? Is a thing. Because, yeah, I mean, you know, the vehicle industry here is pretty, you know, messed up right now ever since COVID and the whole chip shortage. We haven't beaten Rabbids yet. We still have a decent bit to go, but we made some good progress. To get a... Really? Like, here, you know, it's not exactly cheap. Every time you want to attempt the test, it's like $120, something like that, just for the sake of attempting the test. Like, it's so dumb. And they'll try to fail you on the dumbest things, which I know I've been failed on dumb things before. Just because they know that, you know, if you have to take it again, then you pay them another $120, you know? Like, how is it 3 to 4K euros? Like, that's not for the test, is it? Is that, like, including lessons of some sort or something? Like, what's going on with that? Are you the type that I had before? Yeah, you're the type that I had before. But yeah, there's that. Sometimes you own a work vehicle and a personal vehicle. Okay, yeah, there's situations like that for sure. But yeah, assume it's like being a rail fan, just like the machines. What with like owning a second vehicle? Because for me, the reason why I own a second vehicle is not because I expect a 1952 truck to reliably get me from point A to point B, but because it's just a cool project and it's gonna be like a cool family thing or pop. Which I think my truck is still themed after Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. My little cousin never actually told me if he took down all the like merchandise and stuff that I got with the release of Scarlet and Violet. He never actually told me if he took that down from the truck that I set up. So it's possible that a 5-minute drive away from here at my cousin's house is currently a 70-year-old truck that's still covered in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet merchandise. Little fun fact there, I guess. So that could still very well be the case. But yeah. Yeah, that's typically the way that is in this household. But, you know, around here, we have way too many vehicles, honestly, is the case. Like, here in the city, we have one vehicle for each of us. My dad has a truck, like, one of those, like, Ford heavy-duty kind of trucks to haul things around. My mom has a car that's, like, you know, a newer thing. It's just, like, 2013-ish. And the only car model that I know, really, is, like, my own car model. I drive a 2005 Pontiac Vibe. So, you know, it's not exactly new. I'm, like, the 4th or 5th owner of it, something like that. But it's great on gas. It gets me from point A to point B. I like it. It's, you know, it's a pretty small car. It is a good turning radius. It's nice. It's quaint. I like my car. Huh? Is this some kind of security room, too? No, it is most likely where all the mechanisms in the exhibition hall are controlled from. Given the number of hanging works, it would make sense to have a room dedicated to controlling them. Observational skills of an artist are out of this world. So here in my household, it's like all 3 of the family members have a vehicle. I have a second vehicle in the form of my truck, which I've never even driven before. I'm gonna drive it for the first time this spring, I guess. Get on. It doesn't even have its tires on right now. But yeah, I have a second vehicle, and then out at the lake, outer lake cabin, it's a different matter. There is the 1949 Mercury truck, which, you know, is my dad's second truck, essentially. That, you know, I've told the story before. It used to be my grandpa's, but he wound up passing it on to my dad because he wanted to pass it on while he still could, because my grandparents are losing their memory really badly. So I have 2 vehicles. My dad has 2 vehicles. Out there, we also have a quad. We also have a side-by-side. We also have a ride-around lawnmower, if that counts as a vehicle that he wound up buying with money that he got from workers' compensation after, you know, the whole wacky situation going on with his knees and stuff. We have a boat. That's another vehicle. We have a freaking pontoon boat. So how many vehicles do we have? Like, we are, you know, we're not exactly rich or anything like that by any means. But when we look at all the freaking things we have, it's like, wow, do we really need all these things? Say we're, you know, upper middle class. We're very stable, and we have a lot more toys than we probably should. Albeit, we might not be taking the boat out for, like, a good while, because turns out this past summer, the engine, I think it got flooded or something like that, and the market's so crazy right now that it sounds like it would be more expensive to buy a new engine than to buy a new boat, and it's looking like it would probably cost, like, 30 grand to buy a new engine. So the boat might not be going in the water this coming year. We're not sure how that's gonna end up. We'll see there. But yeah, we realistically have way more vehicles than we need. We have way more toys than, you know, anyone should reasonably have. As right after I finished talking about, like, I don't get people having multiple vehicles, as we have probably more vehicles than, like, anybody should ever have. It's ridiculous. If we didn't have the lake house, then, you know, it'd be like 1 vehicle each of us, essentially, and I guess I would have, you know, this truck that I'm working on, is the case, but still, like, putting into words, it's ridiculous, and saying it out loud, it's like, wow, we have way too much stuff. My goodness gracious. Do you think this moves the wires for all the hanging art? So yeah, as I've mentioned before around this channel, you know, I don't do, like, YouTube stuff, like, for, you know, expecting to make bank off of it. I'm not gonna be, like, one of those content creators that's like, aha, I need people to, like, financially support this stream, or else, like, I won't be able to, or else the lights aren't gonna be on. I come from, you know, a very stable situation. We're all right. You know, we're fine, is the case. So there's that. But yeah, stop by real quick after waking up midnight, go back to sleep, good night. Alrighty, there's Stone Sloth. But yeah, I need to pay for attempting the test too. But also every theory lesson and every mandatory driving lesson, which you need quite a few in various situations. You need to pay, like, a fee just to register yourself at the driving school of, like, 300 euros. Jeez. I'm gonna have to register my truck pretty soon. I plan on this weekend actually going into the registry and being like, hey, how do I register this thing? How does that work? We'll see. Driving lessons were never mandatory here, but if you get driving lessons while you're young and, like, have written proof of that, it means that you get cheaper insurance. So, like, it's still good to do, is the case. But yeah, don't want to judge people, but it were easier if each household only had 1 car. They just take a lot of room in cities that we could really use. Yeah, that's fair there. Like, there's so much parking space that's used up in cities that could be used for other things and stuff like that. But yeah, in America, 2 cars for a married couple is almost necessary here, especially if they both work. Yeah, like, I can definitely see that. Like, my parents are both, you know, frequently using their vehicles and stuff. And, you know, if I need to get somewhere as well, and they're both, you know, either, like, my mom could be working, my dad could be at physiotherapy, or at the lake. Sometimes, like, especially while my dad's been all crippled and stuff like that after the whole situation with his knees, you know, a lot of the time he'll just be out at the lake is the thing, and just spending time out there, especially considering, you know, being all crippled and stuff. A lot of the time he's stuck at home bored, and he's told me on numerous accounts that if we didn't have, like, this, you know, lake home, that he would probably lose his mind with boredom, is the case. But yeah, too bad it's also because the US uses its space very deliberately. That's why I don't really like US villages. In your village, you can walk to the dentist, the doctor, the bank, the bakery, public transport, the pharmacy, and various restaurants in 400-meter distance. Completely unthinkable in the US. Need a car to get anywhere. But yeah, that's kind of like the way that is here. You know, the city where I live in, again, has like a pretty good public transport system, especially with like the LRT. Like, I live like very close to the LRT station. You can walk there in like 10 minutes. It's very convenient. And then you can get like across the whole city if you want to, just with the LRT. So if I ever need to get somewhere like downtown, you're not going to be parking downtown. It's going to be freaking near impossible. I just take the LRT if ever I need to get like downtown or something like that, which is rare. But, you know, if I need to get somewhere far across the city, it's like, yeah, just freaking take the LRT, you know. Why not? It's the most convenient and easy thingamabob there. But yeah, if I need to get somewhere close, like visiting family or something like that, then I usually will drive. Though, my cousin's place, since it's only 5 minutes away from here, I wouldn't be able to bike in the winter because there's snow all over the ground. I drive there whenever I'm working on my truck. But when the snow melts and it's nice, since it's only 5 minutes away, I'm probably going to start taking my bike over to, you know, go do some work on my truck. That'll be nice, you know. It'll probably be like a less than 10-minute bike ride. Like, that would be, you know, hella cool there. But yeah, hope your review on Monday goes well. If so, you'll get a jump on your non-taxable Monday income. I wish you the best of luck with that there, Frecky. Because, yeah, that's definitely something important to go well. But yeah, to reevaluate your disability rating. Currently it's 60. You might get up to 100. Oh. Do you mind... I apologize if I asked this before and I've forgotten. Do you mind if I ask what happened there? But yeah. So, like, also getting, like, you know, disability benefits of some sort, like workers' comp kind of thing. There's been a lot of things around here that my dad's picked up with funds that he's gotten from workers' comp. It looks like Fox's deduction was on point. I'll pull the lever. You think this moves the wires for the hanging art? Fox's deduction was on point. Examine. What? Can I move it? Is it just something to keep in mind there? Tax-free and not even something to report on taxes. Got a military with bad fee and things have gotten worse over time. Gotcha there. Well, at least, you know, there's something to gain from doing that. Hey, what did I tell you? We're coming in from above. Yeah, it makes sense to have been in something for a long time and, you know, having negative consequences as a part of that. That's what happened to my dad, just working in HVAC for close to 20 years, working on furnaces, having his knees on hard concrete and stuff. Which is why he always tells me, like, if ever you're, you know, working on, like, a hard surface, always use knee pads and don't end up crippled like him. So he always, you know, tells me to do that, and, you know, I'll definitely keep it in mind, so I never try to have, like, my knees on super hard surfaces for prolonged periods of time. Hey, is this right above the treasure? Oh, look, there aren't any lasers above it. This is quite a large hole in their security, but what do we do? Jump down to retrieve it? Oh, you use the lever and you drop down and you have someone in the security room that turns off the lights briefly and then you come up and you escape, right?
Man.
Might be able to get out if we did that, though. Look up.
Oh.
A crane with a hook. Yeah, that's how we lower ourselves down. Didn't we see something earlier that looks like it could be a set of controls for that crane? Let's go back and check it out. Yeah, let's do that. Also in constant pain, too. Yeah, like he, you know, a lot of the time he's already walking around with a cane and stuff like that and, you know, isn't too thrilled about the whole situation, so yeah. Yeah. Kinda, really isn't the greatest situation there, huh? But, you know,
Joker.
he's still doing some school on the side. He's, you know, keeping himself entertained, going out to, you know, the lake cabin, sometimes stuff like that, and, you know, he's gaining new skills over the past couple of years that he's been stuck at home. Like, he's, you know, learned a lot of cooking stuff, for example. Working on this truck project, like, with my little cousin and with my dad, is, you know, something fun as well that, you know, he's getting enjoyment out of, so, you know, that's cool during a time that, you know, He's struggling to do fun things. Looks like this is it. Joker, give it a try. Also, apparently, when my parents lived in the States, apparently he used to be into, you know, some casual firearm kind of hobby stuff, like going to the gun range here and there. And ever since he's been, like, stuck home and bored, stuff like that, it wound up being a hobby that he picked up again, like, 20-odd years later, just for something to do. So, from time to time, he'll go to a firing range to, you know, do some target practice, stuff like that, have some fun with that. He's talked before about bringing me to a firing range one day, and it's like, yeah, that could be fun. It'd be a fun thing to do together. I still haven't, you know, we still haven't been able to go together once yet, so I've, you know, still never fired a weapon to this day. But, you know, one of these days I might potentially be going to a firing range with him, because it's something that he has fun with, you know? Stop! Don't know if you keep that up. Get back up here! Go! This could be useful. Do you plan on descending on that hook? Would they not spot you the moment they were lowered down? No, not necessarily. There's something I can do to make sure that doesn't happen. Use the darkness.
Nice.
Exactly. That's our Joker. Oh, right. We were able to turn the lights off over in that other control room.
Hold a moment.
Only for a few seconds, though. There will not be enough time to make it all the way here. That's why we split up.
Good idea.
That's why we're going to split up the tasks and work together to pull off this heist. One person will shut the power off here, one person will lower the crane, and I'll grab the treasure. Sure that's gonna work? Seems like they realize what's going on at some point. Sometimes bold moves have the greatest payout, unless someone has a better idea. Sounds good to me. Well said, Joker. You understand what being a phantom thief really means.
Now then.
Alright, it's settled. Our infiltration route is secured. You gotta be kidding me. Now then, it's time for the calling card. Alright, well, neat. Cool, we got the thing wrong. Probably what you would do, return to university upon retirement. Yeah, it's probably a good thing to do there. He's not doing, like, any in-person classes. They're all online classes, you know. He's not, you know, going from point A to point B in the, you know, most reliable manner. Also, wait, is that for the last seed there? It has to be, right? I want to do that before sending the calling card, would be the case. But yeah, especially if, you know, he gets a surgery to one of his knees. He's had both of his knees done now, both of his knees replaced, but one of them is going to have to be redone because the first one that they did like a really crap job of it and it came loose. It has to be redone. So it's like, geez. And especially with you know, with the wait lists that there are nowadays. It's like, welp, that, I don't envy that, you know? Like, he, really isn't exactly having the best experience, let's just say. I'm getting through here. Wait, so how do I,